for sale. My 1955 F100. I built this when I was 15 with my dad. I've been restoring it since. Daily driver. Been driving it for 15 years. It's a driver, so it's not perfect, but it is a great truck. This has been my pride and joy for 25 years almost. And I'll show you a couple things. It's a mild custom, so there's been some stuff done. It's a 56 grill and inserts. There's a little bit of damage right here. Somebody ran into us. Those are just my fingerprints. Same thing right here. That frame rail slightly bent. The bumper's not bent and it's straight, but that frame rail slightly buckled. The paint has a couple bubbles right here on this side of the hood. There's a little bit of rust up here on this rail. That's been there basically 20 years since I've done it. This paint job is like 2 years old or something. I painted it in my driveway. The emblems and these emblems are not the original ones. Those are off different years. Rubber inserts obviously are not original plates. These are deeper offset. There's spacers into them. The front suspension, the leaves have been de-arched. You get a little bit of bump steer going one way. Those can easily be re-arched or just replaced with the stock size suspension. The rear is stock height, stock suspension. I just have like a 200-pound piece of metal in there that evens it out. The bed rails, the wooden bed rails come out. This bumper has been tucked up and back slightly. The tail lights are off Chevys. It's got a 2-inch hitch. Brake controller, 4-pin connector. So you got the full 7-pin connector, and then you got a 4-pin. They're both wired. The bed was good 20 years ago. Red painted wood and strips, but a couple of those are rotted out. The stainless is still great. It just has a big piece of plywood and rubber over all of it. That box is steel. That's from the 30s, but it fits perfect. It's mounted through the floor. The spare, that's mounted through the side. It's got Corvette end tips with dual Flowmasters, which are really new. There's a slight scratch on the windshield from one of the wipers. The door panels are kind of getting aged. This door button is disconnected right now. I thought there was a draw. It wasn't from there, it was from the radio, but that just pops back in. Speaking of which, the radio is in the glove box, but it is disconnected because it is shot and was causing a draw. But there are speakers in both kick panels that are connected to that, so that could easily be swapped out. This is a Chevy bench seat that is fitted in here. The headliner was just kind of a job I did when I was a teenager. It's in there, it works, but you know, it's not great. Trim that was added, emblems that were added, cup holder, a little Lucky, brake pedal, flashlight mounted. The wheels out of a 53 Ford car. All the gauges, they're all Stuart Warner. Most of them are actual vintage. Pinstriping. Just a floor mat floor. Batteries under it. It's got seat belts. I'm trying to think of anything else custom. Oh, the nose emblem has been shaved, which the Bondo cracked a little bit when that person hit us, but it was actually filled. you know, metal before the Bondo. But the antenna hole, what used to be a spotlight hole, and all of the window or mirror holes are all filled. It's just got this little peep mirror up here. I left all the internal framing for that, so it can be reversed. Everything custom basically can be reversed on this. I haven't done anything big, so I'll start it up for you. Like a top, new giant radiator, new thermostat, new fan, new alternator. I basically rewired it when I put this engine in. I built this engine only about 4,000 miles ago, before we moved across California up to Oregon. I've taken it across the whole state 3 times. Runs great, never failed me. It's got exhaust. It's hopped up internally. It's got a Edelbrock intake, 4-barrel carb, you know, horns, sirens. Got a little bit of everything on it. It's got a C4 transmission that was rebuilt probably 20,000 to 30,000 miles ago. It's got a 8.5-inch Fairlane rear end that was rebuilt probably 60,000 miles ago. It's got disc brakes in the front, Chevy truck disc brakes that I've upgraded with a dual master cylinder under the floor. I think that's about it. It's a great truck. I'd drive this anywhere. I got married in it. I graduated college in it. It's taught me how to turn a wrench, and ready to let it go. I never drive it, and I want to find somebody who will treat it well and drive it and use it, and knows what it's worth. But anyway, it's a daily driver. Oh, last thing. There's one thing other than the things I showed you wrong with it. The driver front brake caliper just recently locked up because it was sitting for about 3 months in the rain, and the little cap, the grease cap on top of that was left open. So that caliper is sticky. I can replace it, but it's listed for sale now, so I'm not going to do it. But I can show you what it is. It's a, you know, $60, $70 part or something. Anyway, great truck. It's ready to drive. Like I said, if you drive it, you can get out of here right now with it, but that brake caliper is a little bit sticky, so I wouldn't recommend it. I still drive around town like that, but that can be fixed very easily, and then it'll be, again, daily driver across state lines, anywhere you want to take it from. It is set up with the brake controller and tow stuff. It's not set up suspension-wise or brakes-wise for, you know, towing, but it does have a brake controller and all that. I used to pull a 14-foot vintage travel trailer with it, so it can tow. It's a little 302, so it's not, you know, the biggest thing. But anyway, 1955 F100 mild custom daily driver available.